Welcome to Stop Overthinking, the podcast for overthinkers, people pleasers, and perfectionists who want to feel calm and confident enough to handle whatever life sends your way. I'm your host, Kristen Odegaard, a women's life and mindset coach, lifelong educator, and recovering perfectionist. Welcome back to episode 29 of the Stop Overthinking podcast. Today's going to be a quick episode, short and sweet, just a reminder of sorts. Many of the topics I talk about on the podcast are from clients, but some are also issues and situations in which I'm doing some work. And today's episode is one of those for me. I have a tendency to see things more negatively. And while this is pretty common with all of our human brains, as a recovering perfectionist, a lifelong high achiever, it's more than that. I minimize what I do well because it seems like it could always be better. Accomplishments really don't matter because then there is on to the next thing, one more thing, and somebody else is further ahead. And this also happens with things that bring me joy, that I still see that it could be better if only. So this past weekend, I was hiking as I often do. It was a glorious day, and I was at an overlook, feeling the sun on my face. And then I started hearing people talking and others coming to the same overlook, which is great just as it is. But I'm focusing on what is missing, what's lacking, what could be better or what could be different. And often these things that I start thinking about that I want to be different, that I want to change, they're things that I don't have a whole lot of control over. And this mindset, it's like, it's good, but it's not great. It brings me some joy, but it could be more. It's not quite complete. And this is often how my brain works. I see what's missing rather than what's there. And it's something that I actively still work on. And it is getting a lot better. But I also see this with those that I talk to, my friends, family, and of course, clients. This lacking mentality and focusing on what's missing is really common with relationships and things with your job and career, but also with life in general. It's like, I can't be happy until, or it's not good enough unless. If I just make more money or I had more flexibility, then I could love my job or I enjoy it. If my spouse would just do this, then our marriage would be so much better. When this lacking mindset takes over, you of course feel less gratitude, less joy, more discontent. It's almost like you're hitting pause on the enjoyment in your life because it's not the way you want it to, and you don't think that you can just enjoy it as it is. And you're not going to press play again until it gets to be the way you want it to be. And I get it. For several years, I was in this place of lack, especially as I went through my divorce and the separation. I didn't have a partner. I didn't have support. I didn't have the house I wanted to be in. I didn't have the financial stability I wanted. All those, things that I saw that were wrong. And it was so easy to lose sight of what I did have. I had my own home that I had purchased on my own. I had a reliable vehicle that I owned. I had good health insurance to cover all of the counseling that I and my kids needed. I had friends that I could call and would help me if I just asked. But I didn't see that. And if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, that I am not one to spout sunshine, rainbows, and everything has to be positive. Because I really don't think that life is always positive, that there is a blend. Often I say that it's 50-50, good and bad, and we have a balance. But sometimes this lacking mindset, we do need to take a step back and see what else is actually true right now. What is good? What is working? And that acceptance of what is can be really hard for high achievers and you recovering perfectionists out there because it seems like you're settling, like you're just giving up. But this doesn't have to be the case. It means you can accept and appreciate right now and still put effort into things you want to be different. But it allows the time and the space for change, that it doesn't have to all be there right now. I spent months arguing over this idea of acceptance with my therapist. And I'd be like, no, I don't accept it. I'm resigned to it. And I was focusing on what was lacking, what I didn't want to accept for my life, going through the divorce stages and things again. I logically knew, like, this is my life, this is reality, but I didn't like it. So I'd split hairs and say I was resigned to it. And the difference there, and I was aware of that, resignation grows out of feelings of powerlessness and defeat. It's like passive, like I had nothing to do with this, and this is just life happening to me. A person who's resigned to the situation often feels incapable of moving forward or making positive change. I couldn't see the acceptance of the present. And that was all that I needed to be. And I could still hope for more. It wasn't that I had somehow failed or that I wasn't doing enough. And for high achievers, that's what it can be: acceptance of the present moment, accepting what is, enjoying things as they are right now. Can seem like it's not enough because you're not as far along as you want to be. And both things can be true at the same time. It can be just as you are right now, and you still want to grow and change and be better. Our mindset is sneaky, right? It seems like we're just telling ourselves the truth. I don't have more money, or I don't have more time, or I don't have a partner that will do this for me. And that seems really true. Yet it's a thought pattern, and we get in these patterns and these habits, and it's not going to stop unless you become aware of it and then practice accepting and embracing, and then even appreciating and being grateful for what is now in the moment with your relationship, with your career, with whatever it is that's going on. It doesn't mean that you aren't continuing to work and grow and improve. It just means that you aren't minimizing what you have, that you're not minimizing how far you've come and the relationships and the dynamics that you do have. So that lacking mindset, it's things like, once I get this, then I'll be happy, I'll be better, I'll be able to feel whatever way you want to feel. Or it might sound like, if only I had something else. So my question to you is, where do you do this in your life? You can think about the full spectrum of your life: career, finances, physical health, friendships, romantic relationships and partnerships, your family life. Where do you find yourself feeling that you are lacking? And more importantly, what is the ripple effect of this mindset for you? This sense of like, it's almost there, but it's not quite. Where do you do this? Your awareness is always the first step. And then you think about what it would look like to not want more. What would happen to the dynamics of your relationship if you stopped expecting the other person to be different? What if you are both doing the best you can right now, and that's enough in this moment? What would happen if you accepted that what you have is enough right now, that it doesn't need to be more, that there isn't something wrong with you and you didn't do anything wrong? It's not a failure if right now is good enough. It's just complete, and allow yourself to appreciate it, enjoy it right now. So what does this look like in the moment? So if we go back to when I was hiking, I just need to notice where my mind is going. And I'm not beating myself up for having this pattern. I just notice it, like, oh, there goes my brain again. And then I ask myself, what else is true? And I was able to just feel the sun shining and on my face and on my body. I could hear the water trickling nearby, and that is soothing. And I recognized, yep, I'm in a public place and there are going to be other people. If I really wanted silence, I maybe need to go like backwoods hiking or off the beaten path. And honestly, that's not my style. So yeah, I'm in a public place. There's going to be people. Look at all of us appreciating and enjoying this right now. It doesn't mean that I didn't also appreciate it if it was completely quiet or no one else wasn't around, and that wouldn't be my preference. It means that I can be in this moment, and it's okay, in the reality right now and its seeming imperfection. So this week, take some time and just notice, where are you having thoughts about it not being quite good enough? Where are you not quite good enough? Where are parts of your life not quite good enough? And just notice what those thoughts are. Because when you are in the discontent, when you are in the lacking mindset, it is going to have ripple effects. You're going to notice the evidence of those thoughts because your brain's looking for them. And so it perpetuates the cycle. So you can pause and notice and ask, what else is true? And what if this is just good enough right now? And of course, you can still want change. Of course, you can still want things to be different, but you don't have to argue with reality in the moment. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for listening to the Stop Overthinking podcast with Kristen Odegaard. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone else who would benefit from the message. To learn more about working with me and links to social media and free resources, head over to my website, coachwithkristen.com. That's Kristen spelled Kristen. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss future episodes. Have a great week.